This bulletin is coming to you live from the Joy997 FM studios here in Kokomlemle at digital address GA0993341. Also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, affiliates across the country, including A1 Radio in Bogatanga, ATL FM in Cape Coast, and Radio Max in Takrade. The news is also on ABN Radio in London and around the world at myjoyonline.com. The news is brought to you by UMB Bank, UMB Speed Up, Digibank. Let's go. In this edition, one dead, many others displaced as part of Accra gets flooded after 4 hours of heavy rainfall across the country.
The place was quite crowded. We got people trapped in here, so we had to use our boats. We left it out there. We had to use our boat to rescue some of the civilians trapped in here to a safe haven. But for now, we have a dead body in there that we're trying to bring out.
We have more as the Meteorological Agency cautions residents of the capital to expect more rains.
The rains have started and the ground is gradually being saturated. So any rain that will come, as we witnessed already in Accra, will result into floods.
We're live on the ground. Constitutional instrument for new voters register matures today after 21 continuous sitting days in the House. We'll get details as Parliament's Subsidiary Legislative Committee presents its report to the House.
Report of the Committee on Subsidiary Legislation on the Public Elections Registration of Voters Amendment Regulations 2020.
The report is duly laid and is for distribution to honorable members.
Also in this edition, National Security picks up a man for threatening to kill EC Chairperson Jean Mensah over the compilation of the new voters register.
No. We have to know if they are really from the... No, we have to know. We have to know. Pick the number. 5666. Yes. 5666. Another one. Another car.
We have details. And in sports,
owner and life patron of Kumasi Asante Kotoko Asante Henry Otumfo to the second has directed the club not to recruit new players at least for a season at the ongoing inauguration of the new board. There's more to come.
And as we continue our celebration of some of Ghana's music greats, we throw the spotlight on gospel music duo Tego Sisters, who have been lifting the nation with their worship for more than 2 decades.
And come on, and come on,
it is great. And 2, it's not easy, but togetherness, I believe, if I love her and she loves me, by all means we will make headway.
We have all that and more coming up here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apawu. Please stay for details. And 2 persons have been confirmed dead following one night of heavy rains in Accra, accompanied with flooding at Odona and Parakua Estates in Accra. The downpour, which was said to have started in the late hours of Tuesday, has displaced many others and destroyed several properties in parts of the capital. The rains left people and goods in part of the Kwame Nkrumah Circle interchange and adjoining areas displaced. We'll head to those areas shortly, but first, here is the assemblyman for the Odona electoral area narrating circumstances leading to what is believed to be the electrocution of the deceased identified as Kojo Entry.
It has happened before. That is the reason why we started calling ECG to put off the light. You know, when you look, you see a transformer here. It was almost full. So when there is a big transformer here and the current in that transformer is over 11,000 watts, so definitely we will have problem here. And looking at this area is an old area, so definitely this is the way you're going to see it, unless ECD want to have a change in repairing some of these things for us.
We can now hear from Lieutenant Colonel Michael Infum of the 48th Engineers Regiment of the Ghana Armed Forces, confirming the death during an ongoing rescue mission by a joint team of military and the National Disaster Management Organization at Odona.
The place was quite crowded. We got people trapped in here, so we had to use our boats. We left it out there. We had to use our boat to rescue some of the civilians trapped in here to a safe haven. But for now, we have a dead body in there that we're trying to bring out.
And we also got the news of the dead body. We're told actually there were 2, but it's for good reason that we've come here to ascertain for ourselves. What can you tell us about whether we have 1 or 2 of the bodies?
I'm not aware of the number of people there. For now, all I know is there's someone trapped in there who is dead. That is all I know for now. But I can't confirm the actual number of dead.
Lieutenant Kenanfu, have you been able to help people wade through the waters out of their home?
Yes, we've been able to do as much. When we got here around 0400, we got some people who were trapped in there. So we had to rescue them with our boats. We had about 20 of them in total, rescuing about 20 of them to safe havens.
How many men do you have scattered or deployed in the vicinity?
For this vicinity, we have about 36 of us here. And we also sent some people to Ashama General area. But within this jurisdiction, we have about 36 of our guys here.
Well, go to what you're doing. Let's go.
That's Lieutenant Colonel Michael Infum of the 48th Engineers Regiment there, speaking to my colleague Roland Walker. But still at Ordona, my colleague Kojo Yankson reports the floods destroyed items running into thousands of Ghana cedis, leaving many displaced.
I've been to Ordona since 1990. And by 2000, let's say 1995, there's a flood. But it's not so seriously. But it wasn't like how this time it's coming. Somewhere is like Sodom and Gomorrah. Before 1995, there's some trees in the Odor River. That let the water flow. There's a big land that let the water flow. But since from 1995 coming, they start to fill that place. We saw that some sand to occupy the place. So it has led the Odor River has become a small to the sea. So if this problem is going to be solved, then we have to remove that soil and Gomorrah. We have to expand that place so that the water can flow into the sea.
Actually, let's speak to Mr. Kojo. When the rain fell last night, how much damage did your shop and your home suffer?
I cannot be able to say this is the amount that I'm losing now until after everything before I can say this is what I'm losing. If you can be able to see, if you can see the environment, you can see that we are panicking. In fact, we are suffering now, making the things to be all right.
Now at Achimota, my colleague Maxwell Abagba reports some devastation in the area following the heavy rains. He's been interacting with some residents.
Which is stuck here in this drainage system. We are told that the flood water, the power of the flood water actually dragged this vehicle about 200 meters and it got stuck here at this point. That tells you the sheer force of the flood water and the rains that we experienced yesterday and then some this early this morning. So this is Achimota Drain, and we have with us the man who owns the vehicle that is stuck in here in this drainage system. I want to find out from him exactly what happened. Sir, you're welcome to join me.
Thank you very much.
This is your car and it's stuck in here in this drainage system. Yeah. Tell us, what happened?
Thank you very much. I'm David Abuado, the PR of Concerned Drivers Association of Ghana. Okay. But what I heard this dawn around 1:30 was my phone was ringing, and when I picked the call, it was my driver that calls me that my vehicle had been taken by the flood.
Now, we head to Parakou Estate where my colleague Maxwell Agbagba is there now. We're told one more person has died. Maxwell, tell us what the situation is. What more can you report? Hello, Maxwell. It appears Maxwell Agbagba is unable to hear us. We'll try again. Maxwell, if you can hear me, I'm asking about the latest death incident recorded at Parakou Estate. Tell us more about it. Well, I don't have my colleague Maxwell Agbagba there on the phone. We'll head to the Ashanti region now, where my colleague Erastus Asaridonko is joining us. So we've lost Erastus also. But let's try Maxwell again. Maxwell, we'll try for another time. Can you hear me, Maxwell? Okay, so we're unable to speak to Maxwell. Well, you will hear from the Deputy National Coordinator of the National Disaster Management Organization, Abu Ramadan. They'll give us a general assessment of the heavy downpour today. But, well, the Meteorological Agency has been cautioning residents who expect more rains. Here's the meteorologist at the Ghana Meteorological Agency, Felicity Ahafianyo.
For the season, we are saying that those of us along the coast, we are likely to get rainfall, the accumulated rainfall for the period to be more than 300 millimeters. Then if we have a storm that tracks like what we had today, some areas it started last night, there is going to be slightly above 20 millimeters. Some areas will get 50 millimeters, where the actual center, the core of the rainstorm will pass, they are likely to get above 50 millimeters. So for this week, June, the second week of June, we are anticipating that the week is going to be active in terms of rainstorms that will be moving over the country. The rains have started and the ground is gradually being saturated. So any rain that will come, as we witnessed already in Accra, will result into floods because we will have runoff waters that may not have the chance to percolate into the ground.
That's Felicity Ahafianyo. We'll head quickly to Tamale, where we are told that there's some heavy downpour. My colleague Martina Bugui joins us on the line. Martina, what's the situation where you are?
Where I am, it's been raining from 8 o'clock and it's still raining heavily. The whole neighborhood here, you have water stuck everywhere. You can't identify the road from the edges of the shoulders of the road, I must say. And so it's difficult for people to move in and out. People are stuck in their homes, and it's been so in most parts of the Tamale township because of the heavy rains that we have experienced this morning.
But thankfully, no persons have been displaced. We haven't recorded any deaths or anything of the sort, right?
For now, we haven't heard of anything like that yet, but we are doing our checks to get details if something like that.
My colleague Martina Bugui there reporting from the northern region as we speak. This is the midday news here on Joy997 FM. Let's turn our attention to some other issues now, because the Ghana Health Service Council is warning of a Herculean task ahead in Ghana's COVID-19 fight as cases continue to rise, nearly hitting the 10,000 mark. The council, in a statement to celebrate health workers and whom have been leading the battle against the virus, said even though positive strides have been made, a lot more needs to be done. Komla Adom joins me in the studio with some more detail on this. So what more does this statement signed and issued by the Ghana Health Service Council chairman say?
Well, if I said that as a country, Ghana is counted, among the leading nations of the world, which are at the forefront of a vanguard in fighting the ravage of a pandemic. Now, it goes on to say we have good reason as a council to be proud of the efforts made by government and our dear health workers, with particular reference to the immense contribution to the progress made so far by the management and containment of COVID-19 in Ghana. But Emefa, the statement goes ahead to say that we cannot conclude this letter of commendation without doffing off our hats to individuals and corporate organizations who have played a critical role and responded positively in cash and kind to meet the requisite equipment and consumables urgently needed to effectively manage the pandemic. But it says, despite the gains made so far, the council would like to stress that the battle is not yet over. We have made much progress, but there is still a Herculean task ahead of us, and we continue to help or to seek the help of our health workers to control the pandemic. This is one point of interest, MFI. He says we need to be relentless and fight manfully onward to consolidate not only the gains made so far, but also to get ourselves fully prepared to effectively respond to any possible surge event. Now, he says this is the time for great importance in the work of the health workers as we call on you to accept the related challenges and thus fulfill the hopes and aspirations of our people.
Well, meanwhile, Ghana's coronavirus cases have seen another big increase, bringing the country's case count now to 9,910, less than 100 cases before we hit 10,000. 272 people tested positive in the last 24 hours alone. 4 others died to bring the death toll to 48. One of them, a 21-year-old who had no underlying condition. Pharmacist and fellow at Center for Democratic Development, CDD, Kwame Saponesedu, is worried that Ghana's isolation and treatment facilities may be overstretched as the cases continue to soar.
There are limits to the number of beds that these facilities have. And more importantly, our isolation centers, there are limits to the number of medical beds they have. And I use the word medical beds very, very carefully. And it seems to me from what you've read that the medical beds are beginning to get constrained because our active case count has been going up. And I have been asking for a while that we need to begin to have a conversation around what active case count we can conveniently deal with as a nation. And if you look at the Ghana Health Service facts and figures, we are not awash with medical beds anyway. So it is not surprising that now that our active cases have gone past 6,000, the Ghana Health Service is issuing this caution that please don't get people who are mild or moderate into facilities where the critically ill can be managed.
Now, a mother with COVID-19 at the intensive care unit at the Elwak Isolation and Treatment Center has opened up to Joy News about her story. The middle-aged woman we choose to call Amasewa is now on ventilator but says she hopes to recover quickly so she can be with her daughter again. Joy News' Beryl Ernestina Richter was granted exclusive access to the ICU and filed this report.
Since the outbreak of the disease in Ghana, there have been concerns by various healthcare stakeholders about the capacity of the various COVID-19 isolation and treatment centers to manage severely ill and critical patients due to the inadequate number of ventilators the country has. Major Matthias Yeli Ahig is Deputy Commandant at the Elwak COVID Center.
This is where we keep patients who are in a critical condition. We give them extra care. If there's a need for us to put them on ventilators or any other sensitive equipment, this is where we give that extra care. And the good news is that the place has not been full to capacity since we started operating.
Here at the center, Major Matthias Yeli Ahig says since its establishment, the center has recorded no death.
It's one of the enviable records that we have achieved. We've not lost a patient, and we continue to pray that that will never happen.
On our tour of the facility, the Joy News team is granted access to interview the only patient at the ICU whom we are told is on a ventilator. This middle-aged woman, whom I choose to call Amasewa, is hypertensive.
I gave everything good. I was having BP, so I thought it was just BP.
As a mother, Amasewa misses her family and desires to be with her adolescent daughter.
My problem is my little child, 12 years. She's now heading towards the adolescent. Use the time she needs mother. America. I only want to go and wait and take care of my family.
Ernestina Beryl Richester report read to you there. But Vice Chairman of Parliament Subsidiary Legislation Committee, Bernard Ahiafo, has withdrawn a report of the committee on the EC's CI for a new voters register laid in the House last Thursday. Committee Chairman Dr. Dominic Ayeni complained last Friday that the committee's ranking member, Yabwa Samoa, had altered the report fundamentally and he was not ready to move for the motion for its adoption, prompting Speaker Professor Michael Quay to freeze approval of the report. A while ago, the Speaker allowed the Vice Chairman to withdraw the old report and lay a new one on the Chairman's behalf.
The Speaker, if the House will permit me, yes, I'll present the report. I will lay the report on behalf of the Chairman.
You know the report accordingly. Very well.
Report of the Committee on Subsidiary Legislation on the Public Elections Registration of Voters Amendment Resolution 2020.
The report is duly laid and is for distribution to honorable members.
Now, the CI matures today after 21 continuous sitting days in the House, and the committee's report is recommending its approval by majority decision. Parliamentary correspondent Joseph Opoku-Gakpo joins us with the latest on the floor. Joseph, what does the report say?
It makes the point that the committee by majority decision is recommending that the House adopts the reports on the CI so that then it comes into force and becomes law after 21 sitting days, which is actually close of day today. A number of interesting points, though. The committee, however, makes the point that some of the members are of the opinion that excluding the old voter's ID card from the list of potential documents for registration could potentially create a constitutional problem. That's the word that is used by the committee. The committee again raises the point that the exclusion of various documents like the birth certificate as basis for registration is also out of place, despite them recommending that the House approve this particular CI. Chairman of the committee, Dr. Dominic Ayene, has moved the motion for the House to adopt this particular report and is being debated. There has been argument from Yabwa Samoa, the NPP MP for Adenta, who's been responding to claims that he allegedly altered the committee's report, which he says he did not do. Mahama Yarega, who earlier filed a motion seeking that the House reject the CI, was also making a case that the House, as far as he is concerned, has absolutely no business approving this particular CI. And so the debate is ongoing. We are expecting to hear from 6 or 7 other MPs, including the majority and the minority leaders, before eventually the House approves the committee's report.
Well, at this point, we can hear from Yabwa someone who was earlier accused of altering that document.
Mr. Speaker, speculations outside the parameters of this debate. Mr. Speaker, idle commentary. It is on record in this House. Honorable, you listen to me. You use your 10 minutes to make your argument. the argument as per the motion before us. Nothing more. Please proceed. You have consumed 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I need to put some matters on record. First of all, I am alleged to have cancelled the report. Mr. Speaker, all I did was on behalf of the majority side of the report.
Honorable, that matter is gone. Now respond to the argument.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the report acknowledges that the Electoral Commission has a mandate to deliver and register and conduct an election. Deliver a credible register.
Well, that's the debate on the floor of Parliament. We are following that closely. We'll bring you more subsequently. But in a related development, Ghana's Electoral Commission has, in a 31-page written legal argument, urged the Apex Court to back its decision to exclude the current voter's ID card as proof of identification for prospective voters. The Commission argues the existing voter's ID card was acquired by some Ghanaians in a manner that breached various laws. The opposition NDC is in court challenging the EC's decision to compile a new register. It also wants the court to rule that the existing voter's ID card can be used as proof of citizenship to get registered. The Commission also admitted it is yet to fully comply with the 2016 Supreme Court order directing it to delete from the voters' register persons who use the National Health Insurance card as proof of identity as Ghanaians. This is the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM. It's a good time to take a quick break here, and when we return, we're celebrating the music duo Tego Sisters on Spotlight.
It is great. And two, it's not easy, but togetherness, I believe, if I love her and she loves me, by we will make headway. Also, national security picks up a man for threatening to kill EC chairperson Jean Mensah over the compilation of a new voters register. I have more. Please stay.
When you want it, just Momo it. When you tire for the long queue in the supermarket, just Momo it. And when you really want that beautiful new blouse too, just Momo it. And when you won't get that thing, when you go get fresh to impress, you know who, just Momo it. And when you need to pay that your utility bill and domestic staff set, just Momo it. And when you want to send love to the family for back home, just Momo it. So many ways there. When you go use your MTN Momo wallet or make payments with scan to pay. When you go use the QR code, or you go use the merchant ID or on bank POS terminal. You go also transfer money between mobile money wallet and bank account, all on MTN Momo. Enjoy real convenience in all your financial transactions and live life the brighter way with MTN Momo. We are good together. Just Momo it. We're there for you everywhere you go.
Check out the new Malcolm shop open at Ablekuma, Abanjena Bridge, Olebu, off Ablekuma Pokwasi Road, near Finest Filling Station. It is fully air conditioned and has large parking space. It's now in your neighborhood with over 20,000 items under one roof, ranging from electronics, homeware, kitchenware, furniture, home decor, electrical, supermarkets, and groceries. Your shopping experience just got better. Shop opens on Monday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on Sundays from 12 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Terms and conditions apply. Malcolm, where Ghana shops.
The world is constantly on the go because there are men and women who make it move. Stories, insights, and perspectives that move you from thought to action. Hi, I'm Inshira Adam, and I bring you the Business Thought Leadership Show, Executive Lounge, every Tuesday at 1:05 p.m. on Joy 99.7 FM. Tune in and join the conversation every Tuesday at 1:05 p.m. on Joy 99.7 FM. The Executive Lounge, inspiring a new future.
promised, we delivered a new learning experience. Joy Learning, Ghana's first ever educational television channel, is here. It is well accepted by the students and highly recommended by the teachers. Let's hear what they have to say.
Joy Learning has brought me a lot of benefits academically. The channel has helped me to improve on my vocabulary when I watch the English lesson.
During my vacation, I dedicated my time watching the Joy Learning channel. And trust me, a lot of the lessons taught were very helpful, especially with my elective subjects.
As a secondary school teacher, the Joy Learning channel and their programs have helped greatly. I sometimes revise my method of teaching, and I recommend that parents should encourage their wards to find time to watch the channel.
The Joy Learning channel has really come at the most appropriate time, as students on the double track system can enjoy normal classroom lessons when they are even on vacation. Parents should buy the multi-TV digiboxes so their wards can have access to the rich educational material on the channel.
In collaboration with our partners, SES, Kenneth, and Willowa Free, we bring you the best of your classroom experience on your television in the comfort of your home and everywhere. Joy Learning. Keep learning.
Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. Let's do sports now.
All right, Emefa. So, Asante Kotoko's live patron, Otumfuo II has placed a ban on player transfers at the club for at least a season. In a message delivered by the Minister Chief of Staff, Kofi Bedu, Otumfuo explained why the club must stay away from incoming player transfers at least for a season. Kofi Bedu was speaking to the board members elect during the inauguration of the club's new board at the Sports Hotel in Kumasi this afternoon. All right, so we'll get the rest, or maybe we'll try and get that soundbite for you. But Emefa, clearly, this is a strong warning to the new Kumasi Asante Kotoko board. And indeed, Otumfuo insists that they have to go the way of player development and not buying players. So Kumasi Asante Kotoko, at least for the next few months, will be concentrating on developing players from their academy. That's what Otumfuo is expecting them to do. There's more definitely coming up in our subsequent bulletins.
Thank you very much, George. Now, heavily armed operatives from the National Security have stormed the residence of a man who claims to be a member of the opposition NDC and arrested him. In a viral video, Prophet Kwabena Owusweje is seen threatening and castigating President Akufo-Addo and the Electoral Commission chairperson Jean Mensah over the compilation of a voters register. He was picked up whilst granting a live interview to Accra-based Hot FM from his residence. The arrest wasn't without confusion, though.
No. Please. How come? That's happening live. No, this one there. No. How come? And we are live here, and we are happy. Let us please. No. We have to know if they are really from the. No, we have to know. Pick the number. 5666. Yes. 5661. Another car.
Well, the full video is on the Facebook page of our sister station, Asempa FM. Now on to politics also. Katie Hammond's supporters, including Constituency Secretary, have issued a 48-hour ultimatum to the party to have him run unopposed or they will drag the party to court. Also, the man who whipped his 3-year-old son with wire for bedwetting sentenced to 24 months in prison and will sign a bond to be of good behavior for 4 years. It's time for entertainment. Becky, what do we have?
For more than 2 decades, they have lifted the nation with their worship. They have won souls and blessed many with their ministry. What's curious, however, is how they have managed to stay together for all these years. The evergreen Tego sisters is on Spotlight today.
Handkerchiefs, dancing shoes, and a heart of gratitude. Time to take you to church with the evergreen music duo Tego Sisters.
And come on, and come on,
Since 1983, the twin sisters have been lifting praise in ways many Ghanaians continue to resonate with. Some of their popular songs, Ye Din Kunim, Ye Diko, Yebesa Dibium, Habibiara Mano, Makoma Atomiyem have led people to Christ, uplifted many, and offered others hope. But for over 2 decades, they have remained together.
It is grace. And 2, it's not easy, but togetherness, I believe, if I love her and she loves me, by all means, we will make headway.
The Joe says even though they have been hit hard by COVID-19, they are hopeful everything will bounce back to normalcy again so they can celebrate their 30th anniversary in ministry.
We've been trying to cope because it's something that you can't see it and you don't know how to fight it. So obeying the instruction of the president. So I believe we have done a lot to cope with it.
For all you emerging gospel artists, and in fact, all other artists, if you need some tips on how to grow in the industry and remain relevant and timeless, listen to Lydia Dede Yoseni Tego and Elizabeth Kokri Tego.
You have to respect the elderly and then even the youngest. And when you do that, God blesses you.
Today on Spotlight, we say Ayiko to the adorable twins for their immense contribution to the gospel music industry.
Congratulations to the Tego sisters. Of course, you didn't kunim, you diko, you best say you debut.
Amen.
And that's it. So the Medenis here on Joy 99.7 FM. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I am Emefa Apawu. Thanks so much for your company.